Easy people, welcome back to the new channel. We are the South Stand MCFC. It's been a couple of weeks now. You've seen plenty of different people, plenty of guests. We've had some great shows. There's some shows on today with the Arsenal mob, Troops, Dan Potts. We've got Turkish coming up, Lee Gunner. So there's plenty of stuff for you City fans to get your teeth into. This is a show, I think we're going to call it the Blue Review, where the night after a game, a few of us get in here, talk about the match, chew the fat, get you guys involved. And for the first show, me and Daps have decided to bring in our good friend, Luke, MCFC lads, Chompy, whatever you want to call him. How are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm good. Cheers, mate. Yeah, it's good to be on. Everyone sub up if you've not already. Hit the like button. Leave your comments.
Well, it's good to get you on these days, Luke. You know, now that you're famous on the overlap and that and stuff like that, you know, I thought we'd have to go through your agent and that. So It's good to see you on here.
You've stumped up
or am I your agent?
You are, mate. You've stumped up the big dough to yourself there, mate.
Yeah, man. But no, listen, hey, I watched the overlap the other day and I'm sure all the Blues in the chat appreciate you doing a great job on there, mate, and you're supporting you're the voice of all of us on there. You know, I used to go on there. People say that, but you're doing a really good job, mate, and you should be proud of yourself.
Cheers, mate.
I tell you what, I loved the way he ended it the other day when you got 9. Was it 9 out of 10 you got?
Yeah, I should have done better, to be fair, but I'll take it.
No. Because there was a few I was thinking that was some more me and Steve's
questions. I was like -10 when somebody's 9-day rain or whatever.
I loved at the end when you gave it to Makola a bit.
Yeah, I had to, mate. The whole time beforehand, he was like, "Oh, you're going to bottle it, mate. You're getting 3 or 4. You're getting 3 or 4." And then when he lost, he wasn't happy, mate. He was crying in the comments.
Yeah. So someone else on this panel's made him cry before, I think, as well.
Listen, it is what it is. He's a well-known crier, but listen, you're doing. I just wanted to say you're doing. I was proud on there. It's not. Listen, mate. Anyone that knows. Listen, anyone that's been on that show, you do not understand the pressure on that show.
Yeah.
You literally sat on your ass for 4 hours, right?
Yeah.
You can be literally thrown into a dog pit at any time. There's no structure to it, or we'll just let you know we're going to do this. All of a sudden, it's like, yeah, everyone have a piss. And then when we come back, we've got a 115 special, and you're like, what? No one told me about this. So it's full credit to you, mate, anyway. But listen, forget the overlap. Gary Neville won't do anything for us. We're not doing anything for him unless he pays us. Last night, we had a big game, the Etihad. We've got ourselves into a mess. We've got ourselves to a point where we have to win against Club Brugge. That might sound no problem to Manchester City of previous seasons, but obviously this season's different. We started the game relatively well. And then typical City kicked in. We went 1 behind. Luke, honest thoughts, half-time. I know you've been having a few sleepless nights over this Bruges game. So half-time last night.
Have you?
Yeah, he has.
Weird, mate, honestly.
But half-time last night, Daps, Luke, I thought we had a mountain to climb because we didn't look good in that first half, did we?
Yeah, wasn't good at all. Half-time, my brother had already got me a beer token, so I forced a beer down. I didn't really want, and I just thought this is just a disaster waiting to happen. We're 1-0 down. The classic. You know, we've been on top. Probably should have scored. We get the offside goal. The classic 1-0 down at half time. You know what I said? I said to my dad, it's reminding me a bit of that Villa game when we needed to win and we were 1-0 down at half time.
Fucking hell, yeah, we were.
The last thing he said to me was just cheer. He just said,
no, we went 2-0 down. We went 2-0 down against Villa, didn't we?
Yeah, no, but at half time it was 1-0 though. Yeah, half time 1-0. He just said, cheer up. And I went back to my seat and I thought, right, let's have it here. Kovacic saved us, to be honest. I didn't have any hope. I had a weird dream that we'd drawn 2-2, so I wasn't happy about that when we went 1-0 down. But then Kovacic came up the good straight away. We needed that early goal as well, because I thought if that hits 70 minutes, the rest of that game will just evaporate. We've had it before against Real Madrid. I'm not saying Bruges are anywhere near as good as them, but we've had it before, and it was tough.
It before this season, right? A lot of times this season as well.
Yeah, we've come from behind quite a bit, and Kovacic pulled it out the bag. And then, Daps, I'll leave you to describe the rest of the game, mate.
Well, what happened? Did you get too pissed to remember the rest of it? What happened? Hold on, there's a story here, Luke.
Let's talk about Kovacic for a second. Last few weeks, me and Daps have mentioned him on a couple of shows. I feel like Kovacic has been one of the best players. I feel like that role, what we've been struggling about in midfield, I don't think it's filled, and I don't think we're anywhere near it. But he has helped Daps, hasn't he, coming in. I feel like we are a little bit better with him in there. And last night, they was like, oh, he's not going to do out. It's Kovacic. And he just literally waltzed all the way from his own half to the edge of the box and passed it in the bottom corner.
Do you know what? I was a big fan of Kovacic at Chelsea. Obviously, he had a few injuries in his later stages at Chelsea, but I saw signs of him, especially in the season with Lukaku. I saw him play some balls through to Lukaku that I thought, do you know what, with Haaland, it could eat them up. It's playing a bit different for us, but I actually think we have... We maybe have a little bit, but I think rival fans even more so have not seen just how good Kovacic has been for us for the whole 2 seasons, right? Last season, the second half of the season, he was Rodri's legs. He had so much energy. And then you look at this season, we have to remember, because people are always rewriting history and they're going on about, oh, you know, City without Rodri. Let's remember the start to this season, right? It was without Rodri. It was with cover. It was with Diaz behind cover. And we won every game. Then we went into that Arsenal game. We drew that. Rodri got injured. We then went on a seven-game unbeaten run, winning 6 of them, again with Kovacic. We dropped off when Kovacic got injured. And is it coincidence that Kovacic has come back and all of a sudden... Now, I'm not saying Rodri doesn't take us to a different level, but I think we've underestimated how important Kovacic is to this side. And I think we saw it last night. He still has legs in him. And he still runs at defences. He was picking up the ball and driving last night a lot into the box. I just think we really need to, like, not just us, but everyone needs to realise he's doing a good job for us. And the thing he's getting for us that maybe he wasn't getting for Chelsea is goals. He's starting to get some important goals for us as well. So now I think for me, he was best player last night, but I think he's been probably, if we're talking about all games available, he's probably been our best player this season, along with Vardiol. So.
Yeah, well, that brings us on to Josh Vardiol, Luke. I mean, the second goal, we needed it. Do you know what? I've got to mention Club Brugge, because I feel like they're everything this Manchester City team hates. They were very young and very fast. And I feel like they played all right. But Josko, again, I mean, Gvardiol, technical ability-wise, is fantastic. And then I know he was he's a centre-back, but he's playing left-back. But... you know, and I thought, oh, maybe Pep give him a season at left back and then he'll bring him in at centre back. But I think he's growing into that left back role well. And like you say, especially this bombarding left back role, because the goals he's scoring and the chances he's getting. I mean, and last night we needed that goal. It was an own goal, but fair play. I mean, but he had another great game, Luke, didn't he?
Well, yeah, and it's something Pep doesn't like, but I just quite like the idea of just sort of whipping a ball in or having a crack. Like Kovacic there, that could have easily not gone in. It could have easily deflected. Sometimes when you need a goal, you just got to whip it in. You just got to have a shot. And that's what Vardiol did. I don't think he was aiming or picking anyone out in the box. He just whipped it in, and that lad stuck it in his own net. So I want to see a little... Obviously, Pep's whole philosophy sometimes, keep the ball. When you need a goal, we were farting around outside the box for the whole first half, didn't get near a goal other than the offside one. So sometimes you just got to play a bit direct, and something happens. You know, the goal against Arsenal, the last-minute goal, I know we'll come on to the next game against them, but Grealish got it off the corner. You know, you just sort of whip it in, it just lands at John Stones' feet and it goes in. Sometimes it's got to play direct. But yeah, Gvardiol has been really good this season. Against Chelsea, he could have had a hat-trick. And I think if he could finish his tee a bit better, he probably would be on 10, 15 goals this season.
I feel it was a bit mad last night because I feel like Erling Haaland really didn't get involved a lot. No. He had that one chance he should have scored, but he was sort of on the peripheral of it. And like you said, Luke, we were fighting about with it, left to right, left to right, right to left, right to left. Bernardo gets down the wing, cuts back, comes inside. Nunes passes inside. Kovacic goes over to the other side, Gvardiol. And it was like, put the ball in the fucking box, lads. We've got the big fella in there. He needs it. But Haaland was sort of, you know, we're used to this from him. I'm hoping, you know, we're getting it right. But I feel like Pep had to change his tactics because of Mamouche and Cousinov and Reyes coming in. He's probably going to play different. But one player that changed the match, Savinho. You know, we knew at half time we needed a change. We didn't have any pace. Gundo, who has been playing well for the last few games, by the way, makes way. Savinho comes on. Daps, what did you think of Savinho? Did that change the game for you?
Yeah, do you know what I think it is? We needed runners on the pitch. We didn't have any runners in the first half. If you look at Bernardo Silva's brilliant with what he does, where he's so amazing at holding on to the ball and drawing players out of position. But he had no one. Núñez wasn't really making the right runs for him. We needed Savio on the pitch, and he completely came on and changed the game. I also think probably some relevance, and if we go back to us over the last 5, 6, 7 years, that what we've always been really good at doing is tiring the team out. And maybe in that second half, there was an element of that we had been moving the ball about so much that they were a bit tired, and then they weren't staying with runners. We were getting more space behind them. And that's where credit to Pep for bringing on Savio, because he exposed them completely. He really did. It's one of those ones where you almost wish if we had Doku on the other side as well, and Savio and Doku. At the moment, we can't have them, but we do need runners. I mean, luckily we've got Bob coming back, so that's going to give it on that side a little bit. But now Savio is mid. It's nice to see. I think we all knew it. Once he got one goal, he was going to keep getting more. It was just getting that first goal over the line. And now, good finish, man. Good finish. Happy for him.
I'll tell you what was a difference last night. John Stones stepping into midfield as well. Yeah. I feel like he was brilliant. And it's just Stones. He's like, we love him. And we just want a fit John Stones. Yeah. We want to fit John Stones, because when he does that role, he comes in the middle of the park. I mean, Brugge, they didn't really know what to do. They had a chance on the counter attack. Don't get me wrong, they were pacer. Núñez jumped in for the first goal. Schoolboy error, really. You know what I mean? If he stands on his feet or jockeys him, they're not getting the chance. But John Stones, for me, stepping into that midfield role. If anyone can do that Rodri role well, I think it is Stones. But it's the fitness issues, Luke. He can't string 5 games together, can he? As he froze.
I'm back.
Did you get that?
Something about John Stones, mate. We'll keep rolling. I said Stonesy, I think, can do the Rodri role well, but I don't think he can't string 5 games together at the minute to get settled. So difficult, isn't it? And that's obviously why Rodri got injured, I think, because it's such an intense position. It's all the running about, sprinting, jumping, spinning. It's difficult, and Stones, we know, gets injured, so that's why it's hard for him to play there sometimes, and that's why he's always injured.
Great ball over the top for Savio. Yeah. The chest and the finish was great. 3-1 then we've had 2 games last couple of weeks. We've won 3-1 in both of them. By
one down in both of them, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. This is a nice sign and a nice problem for us City fans to see, because the weeks before that, we were going 2-0 up, 2-2, 3-0 up, 3-3, 1-0 up, 2-1. So it wasn't good. This game management thing now at the minute, it looks like we are conceding goals, but we're putting it right. There's someone else I want to speak about, and I feel like it's 50-50 with the City fans at the minute. I feel he's not done himself any favours, and I feel like he's out of favour. Jack Grealish. I mean, we all love Jack. And surely last night was a game where you'd think he'd play Jack. And he's not getting minutes. He's not getting time. What's your thoughts on it, Daps? Grealish, do you think Grealish is finished at City now? Or is it down to... Because that's not us being unfair saying we want Grealish out. We don't. We love Jack Grealish. We want him back. But he needs to show us something. He needs to show the City fans something that he deserves to be in that team. You know what I mean? We've seen him against Forest at home, playing in the middle of the park. And then all of a sudden after that, he goes missing again. So I don't know what the answer is with Jack.
Mate, do you know what? This sums it up for me. Sadly, I think it's over for Jack. I don't want it to be, right? And I actually think when Grealish plays, most of the time, far more than a lot of other players, when he does play, I think we see something in it. We all think he plays well.
Do you think Jack Grealish starts at Arsenal on Sunday?
No, I don't know, Steve. If I'm being honest, would I want him to? I'd be cool with, if I see Jack Grealish on there. I've been saying I'd love to see Jack Grealish this season when we've been crying out for an 8. I would have loved to have seen Jack Grealish given more of a chance in an 8. He must be doing something wrong on the training pitch, right? For Pep to not, after that Nottingham Forest game, to not see him more times in a deeper role like that. I don't know if there's fitness issues. I don't know. You know I love Jack Grealish, but for me, I think with the fact, if you're looking at, Pep clearly doesn't want to play him in an 8 role, right? I don't think there's any, so then we're looking at 10 or in a wing position. The amount of players we've got now, well, in the next couple of weeks, we're going to have Doku, Savio, Foden, De Bruyne, Marmoush, Bob, Echeverri, McAtee. The list goes on. And most of them seem to be ahead of Pep, ahead of Jack in the pecking order.
Pep's got to be looking at Jack and thinking, right, if we're going down the pacey winger route with the Dokus, Savinhos, Mamouche, etc., Jack now becomes a midfielder for me. He becomes an 8 or a 10. Yeah. That's my options now. So Kevin De Bruyne can do 70 minutes. When he comes off, why can't Jack Grealish go and do 20 minutes in the middle of the park? Keep control of the ball, Jack. Win us fouls. Keep the ball up that end of the pitch. If you get a chance of a shot, have a shot. But keep us ticking left to right. Because I feel Jack Grealish in that middle of the park with them runners, like your Mamouche going over the top, like your Savinho going over the top. Yep. I think Jack's got a role there. But this is why I feel like there's maybe something more to it that we don't know. Do you know what I mean? What do you think, Luke?
Yeah, I think it's a tricky one because he just doesn't. I think back about this season. When's he played? Can you think of more than 3 moments of him playing? I can't. When you just think at the back of your mind, so he's not really played. It's
Forest.
There's not really more than a handful of moments. Yeah. I wish he could play more. And when he does play, I think us City fans do like to think he plays well. But that's the problem. We live in an era where he could be our man of the match, and somebody says he's not got a goal or an assist, and it's like it's all people care about. So it's difficult when the whole media storm wants him to fail and wants him to be this big flop, even when he does play well. It's like that. The treble season him and Rodri were the only 2 players to play every game, start every game in April, and that was 9 games. That included brilliant. Liverpool, Arsenal, all the big games. He was there starting, and he was probably our player of the month that year, near enough. So. Yeah,
somebody made a point there saying he was good in pre-season, and he was. He got left out of the England squad. It hurt him. He went away, and he had a point to prove. I thought he's got a baby on the way, so he's becoming a father. Maybe that can change his mentality a little bit. He's got to come back this season with a big point to prove and shove it all down the throat and say, you know what, I didn't make the England squad, but look at me now. He's come in, and it's been stop-start. And like you say, somebody else said it in the chat. I don't think Pep fancies him in that way, Steve. And I think he's right. I just think Pep's got his own idea, and it doesn't include Jack Grealish in the middle of the park.
I think the key for me is, right, I think Pep even knows, like I've heard him in conversations before about that Pep can play in a central role. Jack defend. Pep, Pep. Well, to be fair, would we have Pep in the DM role at the moment? Maybe. But Jack defensively is better than Foden, right? He is better than Foden. He stays with runners. He picks up runners better than Foden. This season, with all of the injuries we've had, the age of our midfield, the fact that Grealish has still not managed to find more than probably 2 games in a kind of 8 role tells us. I think, and I actually do think he's probably had more chances than Pep would give most players. And I think he just must have done something at this stage where Pep's just had enough of him, which is sad because we do love Jack, and 100% treble season, one of our most important players. But you know what? It is what it is, as you say, Steve. And
let's address another problem. It's deadline day. Tomorrow, is it? Or the day after? Tomorrow,
Monday.
Right. So we've got the elephant in the room. We've been saying it all season. We need legs in the middle of the park. We've gone out and signed everything but legs in the middle of the park. We've signed Mamouche. We've signed Cousinov. We've signed Reyes. We've signed McFarlane. We've signed Jumbo Bar, who's gone on loan. So we've made some good signings, young, great signings. Do you think City go out there? I'll throw it to you, Luke. Do you think City go out there in the next couple of days and bring in a midfield player? Or the Cambiasso links are going up and down. 1 minute we've made a bid, we haven't made a bid. Or do you think that's it for us in this window? We're happy with what we've done?
I think it could quite easily be it. But then we've seen in other windows, just last minute, we go and pick up an Akanji. I'd be looking around now. If City fans want to see who we might sign. who's got 6 months left on a deal, who's sort of going under the radar, because that's the sort of signing we'll make. Or maybe a quick loan. I don't think that Douglas Luiz one's going to happen, but I think that's the kind of deal.
I don't think that's going to happen. No.
What about Kimmich? Kimmich, he's always linked. He's out of contract. Bayern might take a couple of million and there, they might take 5 million or something now, rather than losing for free.
I think the Champions League draw might play a part in that one, to be honest, because
Vincent Kompany do us a favour, you know what I mean?
They're not going to want to sell them to their opponents in the next round, are they? If we get him,
we've got Echeverri coming, who's lighting up the under-20 World Cup at the minute. He's scoring goals. He's a bit young, bit raw. Don't want everyone to put pressure on him. I tell you, there's a player. I feel like I said it the other night on the show with the guys. I feel like we've got to get a stopgap signing to the end of the season, and then I feel like in the summer we're going to go and get elite players. Now, for me, I watched that Wirtz at weekend for Leverkusen, and I didn't realise how good he is. He hit the post 3 times. He was all over, just bringing the ball down. He was going left. He was going right. Everything looked so easy. So for me, if I could choose a player in the summer to come in, it'd be Wirtz. But I mean, a Douglas Luiz on loan at the minute, that'd surely do us, wouldn't it?
Or it can be Asso. Or it can be.
I mean, I hope so. But if I'm perfectly honest, it's just gone too quiet for me. It's gone too quiet, which either means they're just not happening, or something else is going to happen. You know me, I'm looking at these transfers all the time, and there's just nothing. The last week probably has been absolutely nothing, and I think it's just one of them where sometimes it just stops boiling a bit, stops bubbling away, and then you think, the guy's probably looking at maybe signing in the summer now, Cambiasso. I'm not sure. About this window
that maybe the negotiations just got to a point where it's like, all right, do you know what? We're not going to come to an agreement now. We'll keep talking over the next couple of months. Yeah.
And maybe we did see that thing about Pep testing out Stones and Akanji in midfield. So whether that's the case, whether he's seeing about that first, but for how many days we got? Like what? A day, 2 days.
What's the crack with Mateus Nunes, by the way? Because when he made that mistake last night, I went in for at half time to get myself a diet Pepsi, and he was public enemy number 1 in that South stand. They were like, "Fucking Nunes again, fucking Nunes again," and all that.
Steve, from where you were sat, you probably didn't see. He nearly gave away. Ultimately, if their player would have hit the floor, they would have got a penalty as well. By the way,
well, we said it in Paris. I believe he's got the bozo gene where when he crosses the halfway line or he gets in a certain situation, his brain doesn't engage with what his body's doing, and he's capable of sticking a leg out or ploughing into the back of someone or jumping in. I mean, we can't blame him too much. He's a midfielder and he's playing fullback, but we've got to be looking at a fullback. He's obviously don't trust Rico enough to go there. Kyle's gone to Milan, and then we've got Mateus Nunes at right back. We've got to be looking at a fullback, surely.
Yeah. I think the problem we've got is that Rico Lewis, when you're playing well, I think he sort of almost mirrors the team. So if we're playing well, he looks good on the ball. He looks good in the team. You look at them Champions League. We won all 6 Champions League games last year. We got 18 points in 6 games. This year in 8 games, we got 11. So last year we were so much better. And Rico Lewis got man of the match a couple of times. He looked really good on the ball. But it's when you get in these big physical games, and if we've not got the ball as much, he's got to be tackling half the time rather than passing it. And he gets pushed about. In Paris, I looked at him and I felt bad. He was getting pushed all over the place. A few fouls here and there. And I think when we're under the cosh of it, it's not his game. That's just not his game. Being able to defend and get pushed about, that's not what he's good at the moment. So I think, we could do with signing a fullback. Nunes, I don't think right back's for him. He looked good on the wing, to be fair. I think he looked a lot better out of position on the wing than he did.
Don't you think Nunes is a midfielder? He's got legs. Right? We need a midfielder with legs. Yeah. He's playing at right back. And then this is what I don't
give him a chance. Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't know what is going on in Pep's mind. You know what I mean?
Do you know what, Steve? I'm honestly convinced that Kusanov is going to be our long-term right back. I honestly am convinced. And look, I could be completely wrong with this, but we've gone like if you look at City at our best, you look at treble winning season, you look at even recently this season when we played Forest and we kept a clean sheet 3-0. We were playing 4 centre backs, right? Now, Kuznetsov has come in. He prefers to play on the right-hand side, but he can play with his left. He's physical, like a centre-back should be, but also he's recorded the same speed as Van der Ven, right? 37.5 kilometres. He's rapid. He's very rapid. I think the long-term aim is that he will be our right back. I think if we had Diaz fit now, I think we'd already be seeing Kuznetsov as our right back on Sunday against Arsenal. Maybe not because of Diaz not being there, and maybe also because he needs to be taken out of the kind of headlights, maybe for the Arsenal away game. But I think long term, he's going to be our right back. I really do. And do you know what game I'm really looking forward to already? The Leyton Orient game, because I think we're going to get to see. I think Marmoush probably playing in the 9 role. I think we probably get to see Bob's return. And I think that might be the game where we get to see Kuznetsov as a right back. But I think
we might see Reyes as well at centre back.
Well, I just starred one of them. Someone had said that Reyes can play at right back. Have any of you not seen Luke? I know you're all over. You see everything. I've seen a few people talking about that Fernandinho is behind the scenes helping to coach up Hayes into potentially doing a kind of DM role. Is there any truth in that?
No, so I connected a few dots earlier. Fernandinho has been staying at Edison's house, I believe, his family. Right. It looks like that way anyway. And I think the reason Fernandinho is knocking about is because Kuznetsov speaks Russian is one of his languages, and Fernandinho speaks Russian. So if you think we've got Savinho's Brazilian that's come in the summer, we've got right, whatever you want to call him, Reyes, who speaks Brazilian, who's very young. Kuznov's very young and speaks Russian. So Fernandinho's, but I think he's almost like for want of a better word, he's just there as like a translator. Do you know what I mean? He's going to understand everything Pep wants to say. If you just got some bot basically that speaks both languages, they're not going to understand all the tactics and what he means. Fernandinho can basically understand what Pep's saying and actually sort of say, well, yeah, this is what he needs you to do. And I think he's almost there as like a coach / like translator. I'm not sure whether he's going to get him into a certain role or anything like that. I think he's more just there to help these guys settle in. He's a legend of City.
Yeah,
he understands the two languages we need that Pep doesn't understand. Obviously, speaks Portuguese and that. And I think there's 3 players there that sort of could do with Fernandinho being around the place, and I think that's why he's here.
Yeah. Do you know what? You're right.
He could probably play DM. He's only just retired. He could probably play DM.
Someone just said that they'll play Fernandinho as a child. Well, he's probably still got more legs than Fabinho did after one season at Liverpool. But do you know what? You're right, Luke. It does seem like with Walker going, Rodri's now back in and around. And I know people are getting carried away and seeing Rodri in and around. No, and he's not going to. I honestly, people are getting carried away and going, oh, Rodri might be back sooner than we. I don't think there's a chance in hell that Rodri allows City to, or that City even want to risk him, right? We're not in a title race. Why are we going to risk Rodri?
I think it's just a psychological thing for Rodri to get his training kit on and to get on the training pitch and have the crack with the lads and get around the squad and just offer a bit of advice. And then people, that it's better doing that than he's being reeled around the world with the trophies or something.
Yeah.
Put on basketball. We don't need that shit. We need him at the Etihad talking to people.
Yeah, the thing is as well, like this thing about registering him for the Champions League. At the end of the day, if it gets to May or whenever the final is, and he's like sort of ready to go, and we couldn't use him in the final, why not? We might as well have the option there. If he's suddenly somehow better and we've somehow got to the final, and we want to use him, and he's sort of ready to go, it'd be a waste to not register.
I just think it's important, to be in the squad and around the dressing room. I would have him in the changing room, Arsenal, in a heartbeat. I'd have Fernandinho in there.
But that's Fernandinho
on the coach and take him with us.
That's where I was going, Steve. If you think about it, since Walker's left the club, which is our captain, right? Rodri is now back round the team. Fernandinho seems to be back round the team. And Fernandinho always was. There was always plans that Fernandinho would get his badges and potentially move on to the coaching staff. Another thing someone just made probably a valid point. Fernandinho played in Ukraine, so he probably actually does have a bit of a grip of the Russian language as well, to be fair. And I know...
that's the one. He speaks it. That's the one he needs. He speaks Russian.
Yeah, so... right, 400 people, over 400 locked-in people. The likes are a good ratio, 205. people, if you haven't already, please keep hitting that like button, subscribing. It helps to push us out to new City fans, old City fans that aren't aware of our content yet. Go on, mate.
Daps, I'm going to correct you, mate. That ratio's shite, mate. We've got 430 people in it. Only 200 of them have liked it. Why have they not liked it?
Come on, you're taking the piss, man. Taking the piss.
2 seconds to click on it and like. We need all of them. No, I'm not taking the
all of them. We need them. We're trying to build some people. We need your support. You know what I mean? Sit there, get a brew. Do you know what I mean? It takes longer to look at your phone and see who's text you or mithering you than it does to give us a like. So we've covered a few options. One thing I wanted to touch on, Arsenal at weekend. For the first time in many a year, this game has not, in my chest, not felt as much pressure where, you know, last few years it's been Arsenal, title race, Emirates, let's do it. There's pressure on Manchester City because we need to finish in on top 4. But I think all the psychological pressure in this game is on Arsenal, because if we beat them on Sunday, that's good night Vienna for me, for them. That's them out of it, because every time Liverpool have slipped, Arsenal have slipped. They don't seem to be taking any advantage of it. And I feel that we ain't got, it's not a free hit for Manchester City, but I feel like we might play with a little bit more relaxation and knocking the ball about.
Less pressure in there.
The problem is, you look at the squad. Does Savinho start? Is Stones going to play midfield? Is Kuzanov playing? Where does Mamouche play? Is Nunes starting at right back? So there's a lot of permutations. Is Devin De Bruyne start? Does he not start? Does Grealish start? Does he not start? I mean, starting at the back of the defence, what's the back 4?
That's my biggest concern. I said this, I think, on the match review last night, where everyone was focusing and people straight away reaction. We're going to get Madrid. We're going to get cooked. We're going to get cooked. We're going to get cooked. I kind of said, and then it was, unless we get a DM. And my thing was, look, we need to calm down on the we're going to get cooked, because I understand where you're coming from. Vinicius against Nunes, it doesn't sound great, but Real Madrid are in the playoffs for a reason, right? Same reason we're in the playoffs. Neither of us have been that good. So, you know, Real Madrid aren't at an amazing level at the moment. But I also think that when people are saying if we don't get a DM, said, I'll be honest with you, even if we get a DM, if we don't get Ruben Diaz back playing regularly, I still have my concerns, because it's the way that defense is being led at the moment. There's no one leading it. There's no organisation in there. There's been several goals I've seen the last couple of weeks that would not have happened if Ruben Diaz was on that pitch. In fact, one for you, the one against Chelsea. Ruben Diaz would have put that rose head, right? He would have just ran in. Akanji kind of left him to it. So I'm kind of worried about that. Luke, you seen any news on Ruben, by the way?
Not sure.
Apart from actually, one bit of news I did hear. Has anyone heard this? Ruben Diaz is with Maya Jama.
Who gives a fuck?
You're about a month behind on that, Daps. We don't watch Love Island.
Who gives a shit,
Daps,
man?
Love Island's on at 9 p.m. This is 8, mate.
I'm going to miss it as well. I'm going to miss it down.
We've just gone from, hold on a minute. We've just gone from Arsenal to Real Madrid to Ruben Diaz to Maya Jama in fucking 5 minutes. Daps, you're going out one again. You need to stick to the fucking programme here.
Daps,
I'll say that.
guys.
I wish I had my cards. In fact, Daps.
He does it every week.
You need a red card. Get a red card.
Bernardo Silva. Bernabeu.
Do you know in Paris,
Yeah.
do you remember the famous Real Madrid, the Roy Hodgson tactics? In Paris, just before the game starts, he's trying to find out whether the Chuckle brothers were from Rotherham.
Which they are, to confirm.
This is how it goes off on one. This is why I have to host it, keep some sort of structure. Otherwise,
I wasn't even drinking that day as well. I wasn't even drinking.
You're not Sheffield. You're not from Sheffield.
No, he's not Sheffield.
No, they are from Rotherham. They're from Rotherham. It's confirmed.
Oh, man, it's bad.
Anyway, no. So the weird tangent, but where I was actually going is, I just, that's my biggest worry. My biggest worry this weekend, because I actually think we're going to cause Arsenal problems. I do. I think Mamouche is going to play and cause us problems, but I'm worried about that defence, Steve. Without Ruben Diaz, I just.
So what is it then? Is it Nunes, Guardiola, fullbacks, Akanji, Stones? Is Nathan Ake any chance of being fit?
Not sure about Ake.
Yeah.
I think it's anyone that's in training now, really, that you can pick out of. You think it's Thursday night?
Is he going to put Cousinov in again?
Yeah, I could see it. To be honest, I could. He put him in against Chelsea. It's almost the same level of game, then, and we need something out of the game. I'd probably take a point now, but
yeah. Let me put a question to you, Steve. Who would you rather on the right, Rico, Nunes, or Cousinov?
I'm going to say Nunes. I know it sounds mad, but I feel like Rico is not there for me physically at the minute. I feel like he's not going to do it. I feel like Nunes has probably got a better chance of keeping Martinelli quiet out there. Cousinov, he could play Cousinov. He could say, look, put it on him out there, right back. But I don't know, after the game he had, I don't know whether he's going to break him in a little bit more lighter. I don't think I would put him in just yet. Yeah. But I don't know. There's a lot of different angles we can go at here, lads. We even the midfield. Do you know what I mean? Rico still blocked you. He didn't block me. He just unfollowed me because he didn't like it. That I said
you didn't pick him then, so he hadn't followed you back neither.
Yeah, like he said, he didn't like me saying he wasn't a midfielder, but that's my opinion, and unfortunately, that's what we do. You know what I mean? But hey ho. Speaking of midfield, he don't get in that conversation. No one's talking about Rico Lewis in midfield against Arsenal. No chance. No. Is that got to be Bernardo, Gundo, Kovacic, and De Bruyne comes on later?
There we go.
Or do we keep? Or does De Bruyne start at Arsenal?
Nah, De Bruyne. After last night, nah. I think I'm of the opinion now that that De Bruyne should be playing once a week, and maybe if we've got 2 games a week, maybe one of the games come on for 20 minutes. But he should only be playing once a week. The minute we start playing him more than once a week, starting games, he doesn't look the same. Do you
think we're going to do what we did against Chelsea when we got Mamouche and Foden tucking in, and we're going to have Guardiola going on the outside, or against Arsenal at the Emirates? Is that too risky? And do we make sure Mamouche plays out wide? And I feel like Mamouche felt a bit smothered in that middle. I feel like he wants to get the ball where he can open up his body and run at Arsenal. And I don't think Arsenal want that. I don't think they want Mamouche picking that ball up and driving at them. I don't think they want Savinho doing it either. Yeah. So I feel like we've got to do it. I'd rather go Arsenal, put it on them, try and win the game. If we get beat by a better team, come out of the Emirates and go, you know what, we had a goal today, but we got beat. Rather than thinking, do you know what, we didn't have a go at them today, and we could have got something, but we didn't have the balls to go. I'd rather go there, balls out, and say, we're Man City, 4 in a row, let's fucking have it. And if they beat us and we have a shoot-off, fair play. But let's not leave it. Let's not come away frustrated and think, fucking hell, we could have done them if only he'd have played, or if only they'd started him. I want us to just go there, toe to toe, man. You know what I mean?
What's the point of not doing? Because if we don't do that, they're just going to play us set pieces. They're going to slow walk the game, and they're going to get some scabby little header on like 82 minutes, like that deflection they got last year.
I think if you're brave at the Emirates, the team that get results at the Emirates, the Brightons, the Southamptons, the Aston Villa, and the teams that are brave, I feel like we've got to be brave. Don't fall for this Arsenal bullshit. Let's just fucking go there and say, we're the bollocks round here. We've got gold badges here, mate, for a reason, and we're having it. If they beat us, we'll put our hands up. But give us something to be proud of, man.
Yeah.
I think something that's going to be quite interesting is seeing how, because it's fair to say Gabriel and Saliba, like I'm not co-signing that they've pocketed Haaland, because Haaland has certainly scored goals against Arsenal, right? But however, they have handled Haaland quite well. But I think with Marmoush, that's where it's going to be interesting, because they're still going to have to pay as much attention to Haaland on Sunday. But now they've got someone else that's making runs in behind them. And I'm interested to see how they cope with having two handfuls. And then whether it be Foden, because Foden's slyly getting a bit of form back. He's picking up goals. I don't think there's any worries about us causing them concerns, because I think we can. I think with Haaland, Marmoush, and whether it be Foden or Savio, I think we'll cause them issues. Do you know one thing as well? I just think we should mention real quick. Yesterday in particular, some of our senior players, Bernardo, Gundogan, Kevin De Bruyne, even Kovacic, they've come under a bit of pressure, which I think all of us, it's fair that we have given them it. But is it not fair to say that last night they actually stepped up a little bit in the second half as well? Because we were 1-0 down, right? And they've stepped up. Now it's the business end of the season. Yesterday was a must-win game. And actually, that midfield stepped up in the second half and did what they had to do. And they saw the game out well. Now, I'm wondering and I'm thinking if this is where they might actually start to come into it. Now we're starting to add some fresher legs around the squad that having some of these senior players, but we have to rotate them right. And I think against Arsenal, if we manage it right, cover Bernardo first half, Gundogan and De Bruyne on the bench, maybe to come on in the second half, I still think we could get something against them. I do. And it's the first time we're going there. It's like a free hit.
Yeah.
We're usually going there having to win. We're going there tomorrow with absolutely nothing really to play for in the grand scheme of things. So
there's a fucking train strike as well. Of all the days.
Again.
There's a train strike again, yeah. So it's a nightmare for City fans to get there and back again.
As usual.
You know, it's crazy. So people are going down on trains, but I think you've got to go all the way around the world. Yeah. People are going down on Saturday and having to spend another night in a hotel just to be there. So it's not ideal. It's not ideal. But I feel like we've just got to go there and have a good go. You know, we're in a position this season where we know we're not at the races, but why not have a go? Try new things. Let's get, one of the things. Come.
Right, the form table in the Premier League, last 5 games, who's top of the league?
Is it us?
You wouldn't say us, but it is. It's us. 13 points from 5. Everyone's slamming us. You know, we've had a shit season, really. Let's not dance around it. But we had 13 games with 1 win. Since then, all comps, we've won 6 in 8. Draw against Brentford away. They've been pretty good at home. We should have won that game, but we take the point. And a loss to PSG. Other than that, we've won 6 games in 8. In the Premier League, we've won 4 in 5 with 1 draw. The teams around us, obviously Newcastle, Liverpool, Bournemouth, Arsenal, not as good form as us. We're the most informed team in the league. So it doesn't feel like it, but we are. So we've got to go there.
The last 2 games have been pleasing the way we've game management. Has been a problem this season, you know what I mean? It's not been a City problem for many years, the game management, but at the minute, we were getting to like 70 minutes and thinking, fucking hell, last 20 minutes here is going to be a nightmare. And we were conceding and that. So I feel like there's something to be excited from. I know, Daps, are you doing a watch along for it?
I haven't even thought about that. I'm thinking day by day at the moment, mate. Yeah, I probably will be.
I know Luke's going down. I'm going down. But yeah, it's going to be one of them things. We're 45 minutes in. How many likes are we on, people? Let me know.
We are on 320 likes, 457 watching. Not bad, but it could be better, people. Let's get
to 400 likes before the stream's finished, people. Come on.
Well, there's something else we need to talk on as well, isn't there?
Go on.
Certain European away. Where we go?
Yeah, we found out. We found out we've got an easy draw next round in the playoffs: Bayern Munich or Real Madrid. I mean, if I'm being selfish for myself and a bit of sun on the napper, we want Real Madrid. If I'm being realistic, who I think we can beat, I'm going to go say Bayern Munich.
Yeah, the one reason I'd definitely say Bayern, regardless, is we could end up if we were to win. Let's say we win on paper. If we get Real Madrid, then we get Atletico again. We're going to be sick of that Plaza Mayor, aren't we? After 2,
I'm sick of it now.
2 years back.
I'm sick of it now. I'm sick of it now, mate.
I am, mate. It's the same thing, and people might. I mean, it is a bit, spoilt to say that because we are spoilt as City fans. But you want to go to a few different places, don't you? We haven't been to Bayern for a couple of years.
Karaoke in Bayern was mint. I want to do karaoke on the Tuesday night again, Steve.
Let's go to Bayern. Let's beat company. Let him do us a favour, and then let's hope it's not Atletico in the next round. Because 1, we wouldn't be leaving there with any players fit, and 2, I can't be asked for Madrid again.
So we've realised that this season, this new format, basically everyone was like, oh yeah, you can finish 24th and you're through, it's not a problem. But you need to be in that top 8, because if you start finishing 23rd, 22nd like us, you are getting the shitty end of the stick. So that is definitely a mistake next season. If we get in the Champions League, we cannot afford to go that way. But yeah, Bayern, Real Madrid,
exactly like I said.
We owe Real Madrid one from last season, but mate, we know about Real Madrid, but what it's like. It's fucking horrible, mate.
I just have a fear. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Madrid as far as I like the trip to Madrid. I like Plaza Mayor, right? But we know first. I like cheap, aren't they? The sermons of
Paris.
The sermons of rum are sensational. They're literally just.
You don't care. You just keep pouring it. I'll show you the video next time. We had a guy who pulled us off. It was the night after the game. He pulled us off the side of the street, right, shouting our names, right.
I thought it was some mad shit going on there, and some guy pulled you off.
Tell us more about your trip to Madrid, Luke.
Daps, mate. Whatever you get up to down there, mate.
That was you that said it, pal.
Yeah. Well, he had a James Rodriguez shirt on, and he started doing air step overs without a football to try and get.
I know what you mean. He's the old fucker.
He's about 40. I've got a clip. Let me try and find the clip.
Steve, we've seen him before. I swear we've seen him before.
Honestly, the people in the stream deserve this clip. He's got. So let me find it.
I'm sure we've seen him before, because it's the same people every year, isn't it?
Look, he's there in the street. He's there in the street doing step overs, right? The next day, we've ended up one next to a baby head, a giant baby head in Madrid, and two.
That look like me.
And two, we've ended up on a random Madrid uni 5-a-side pitch playing football. So if we get Madrid, Steve, you better build your side, because we'll take you on.
We're having a 5-a-side. We're just invading.
I'll get on some random uni campus. There you go. That's Madrid for you. Bayern, please, is all I've got to say on that one.
Yeah, I like Bayern. Bayern the season that we won the treble, that was a mint away trip, wasn't it, Steve? Even the walk to the ground was unbelievable as well.
Yeah, it was brilliant. And like you say, Haaland missed that penalty, and then he scored that goal. He ran over their fans, giving it all that. But that was the season we knew what was coming. Yeah. You know what I mean? This season, we ain't got
in the chat, that's your statue in 2029, mate. The big ball.
Yeah, man. I'm having it. Yeah, that's the one.
outside the Etihad, yeah? Outside the South Stand.
We're having our picture with that. We're having it.
Mate, it's quality that. If we get them, you'll have to find that and get a picture, mate. I'll have to find it.
100%, man. 100%. Listen, people, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the show. Please share the stream in Facebook groups, Manchester City groups on Facebook. We are a new channel. We are trying our best to get out there. We do appreciate the support. The support for the last few weeks has been amazing. All the lads that have appeared on the channel have really enjoyed it. We've got loads coming up for you. We've even had people asking, can they come on? We've been vetting them. We can't just put anyone on, because, you know, it could go crazy. But people have been sending videos in of what they want to talk about, and we're building it. We're slowly building it. Anyone that feels like they can get involved in the channel, help with graphics, design, intros, outros, anything like that.
A few ideas, you know, if they write them down, ping them in, email them in, DM us. We can pass them on to whoever. You've got a few ideas of what you want to see. Get it done.
And that's it, because this is a channel built from. We've seen other channels how they do things. We've taken good things from channels, bad things. We're trying to make the Man City channel where, you know, at any time of the day, within a couple of hours, you can get yourself a brew, get yourself a beer after work, sit down, and know that there's going to be some City content. You'll grow to like some people, you'll grow not to like some people. But what we want to do is we want to just have a good Manchester City chat, open, honest. You know, we want to talk about the Chuckle brothers being from Rotherham. We want to talk about babies' heads and people doing step-overs. We're ready for it, people. But that's just where we are. Well, please hit the like button. Thank you very, very much again, Daps and Luke, for coming on the channel. It's really appreciated. We have also got Turkish appearing on this channel. We've got Lee Gunner appearing on this channel, so it's going to be lively. So we've got lots and lots coming up. We've filmed a episode with the 1894 which I filmed before, which is a very, very interesting episode. Please, though, don't let your kids watch it because there's a lot of swearing in it. But yeah, so it's all coming, people. It's all coming.
Yeah.
But let me say thanks to everybody. Please hit the like button. Come on, City. Keep supporting the channel, and we'll see you all soon. Peace.